Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah Wisted. Today I'm finally sharing with you guys my mini office makeover. So I first have to describe the challenge that I was going through with this mini office makeover. I do work a full-time corporate job, so the easiest way to do my job is to have 2 monitors, and I think we can all agree that 2 monitors are just not cute. So my biggest challenge on this mini office makeover is that I wanted to make my 2 monitors feel just a little bit nicer, like just make it feel like a little bit more like chic and inviting if you can do that. Now, there are some really beautiful monitors that you can invest in, that like the curved monitor, the extra long monitor, that can look a little bit better than these just like basic dual monitors. However, I personally don't want to invest in those monitors. I hope to not have to have dual monitors for the rest of my life, so I'm just going to use what's provided for me and not have to go buy something new. And then the other part of that challenge is I really wanted to put this on a budget. So I really didn't want to invest a lot of money. I wanted it to be like bare minimum, because we do hope one day to turn this office that I have currently into a second nursery. We are not pregnant, and we are not currently trying to get pregnant for all those questions that are in the comments below, but I just, you know, one day hope to expand our family, and if we are lucky enough to do that, we would hope that this room could be that room for the next baby. It has taken me like, what, 3 or 4 years to even get to this point, because it was just not a priority for me, but I finally did it, and I'm excited to share with you guys. So let me go ahead and show you the reveal. Okay, let's first talk about the budget aspect of this video. Where did I save money? The main place I saved a ton of money is the desk. This desk, it's just a desk from IKEA. We actually already had it. My husband was using it in his office, and we upgraded his desk to a standing desk, which is great. He loves it so much. But I didn't want to buy a new desk, so I just took his IKEA desk and brought it into my office. Luckily, it's already white. We love the Mom series from IKEA, so fit in perfectly with the rest of our decor, and it was exactly what I needed. Now, the reason I wanted this desk specifically is because on one side it has a waterfall ending, so it kind of hides any cord management that you're trying to do underneath your desk, which I'll show you in a little bit. But it also, like, it just blocks a lot, so you're not seeing a lot of distraction underneath the desk. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but that's the whole reason why I wanted this desk, something that had the waterfall ending to block anything inside of the desk. I also love that it's white. It just blends into the rest of the decor. I will say, if I were to invest in a desk, I probably would have loved a wood tone, something to match kind of like the tone of our floors. A wood tone desk would have been so beautiful, but that is an investment. I feel like desks are the most the biggest investment piece in your office usually is the desk, which if you're going to do this long term and you plan to stay in your office long term, I would invest in a nice desk for yourself, but you don't have to. I feel like IKEA has really great options if you just want to do something minimal. The next budget aspect. The mounts for the monitors were actually extremely inexpensive. Now I have to get up my phone to say exactly how much it was. And these were just from Amazon, so you literally can just order them off Amazon. They're here in 2 days. My husband mounted them in like less than an hour. It was super simple. $15.98. So $16 per mount. I did get 2 mounts, so total it's about like what, $32. So that's very inexpensive if you think about it. And the reason I wanted to mount them and not keep them on the risers is 2 parts. One, the risers are silver, and you guys know I want everything to be tone on tone. And then also, I just really liked the idea of a floating monitor. I feel like it made it feel less heavy, like more light. This is how I explain things in my mind. Like, I wish I had the words to explain how I see things in my mind, but this is kind of how I explain it. So we have your IKEA desk, you have your mounts for $30, and then I wanted to add like a little something, like a little bit of a detail above the monitors without adding anything too crazy. So I ended up going with this simple floating shelf. To be honest, I used to not really be a floating shelf fan, and you guys know I'm not a shelf fan in general, just because I feel like it invites like stuff. But I did feel like I needed a little bit of a detail above these monitors, so I put the shelf against the wall so it kind of looks like it's coming out from the wall, which I really liked. If I had another wall on the other side of the monitor, I probably would have had the shelf go all the way to the other side. but because I don't have another wall on the other side of the monitors, I just had it come out asymmetrically, just partly through the wall. And because you guys know I love a tone on tone, I love when the whites all match, I did paint the shelf to match the wall color exactly. I did go with a lot of just white books, and the reason I do that is because I think books add a little something without being too much. Like, I sometimes feel like styling shelves become a little too much if you put a bunch of different decor pieces together, but books, it's like very repetitive and it just seems a little bit more pleasing to my eye. And these books are also part of the budget piece. I just went to Goodwill and I picked out a bunch of old books that had covers. I flipped the covers around, they were all white. So total, I think I spent on these books another $30. And I feel like you can spend a lot of money on decorating shelves, and this is like an easy go-to trick that I've been doing, is just go to Goodwill and get a bunch of books that are all white, and you just display them on the shelf and then you call it a day. I did want to add a quick little wood tone to this shelf as well, just to match the chair that I have. So it's kind of like tying in all the wood tones from the floor, from the chair, and then up on the shelf. And this little bowl was just from Target, and it's one of those like salt bowls that you can put next to your stove top. And so it was literally like $6 or $7 or something similar. So again, very, very inexpensive. Now I will say the one place in this whole office setup, the one investment place, is the chair. This beautiful chair, I swear, just makes this space feel more elevated. Like, you can have everything, and this is kind of how I go for decorating all of my house for that matter. I always have like a very simple base, like the main products are pretty simple, but have one like statement or like standout piece, and I chose for my chair to be more of a statement standout piece, because chairs are just, you can find some really beautiful chairs and like even really unique chairs if you want your space to feel unique. Obviously IKEA is not super unique, so I always say bring something unique into a space and it'll make it feel more elevated and less commercial. This chair I got from France and Son recently, and it was, oh, it's so stunning. Like, I have had my eye on this chair for so long. I like needed it in my office space. I actually just wanted it in my house in general, but I was like, this will go perfect to my office and I can use it elsewhere whenever we move this office space somewhere else. Sorry, my battery died. As I was saying, this is the genre dining armchair from France and Son, and it is, the quality of it, you guys, is so good. And I feel like it could go in a lot of different spaces, but of course I put it here in the office space because I just felt like it really, really elevated just a simple space. It's super comfy. I feel like it has a lot of space to move around in. You can even like sit with your legs up, which I know is probably not the best thing, but I sometimes do sit cross-legged while I'm working. Moving on from the budget being like the main driver of the design choices that I made here, the next driver, of course, is my aesthetic, which is the modern, minimal, organic type of aesthetic. You guys know this by now. I like things very minimal. I don't like a lot of distraction, don't like a lot of stuff on the walls. I like a lot of whites in my like usual like decor style, just because white is very calming to me. So naturally I wanted to keep that in my office as well. So in order to minimize this space, I literally just wanted the least amount that I could do possible. Least amount of stuff on the desk space, least amount of like decor and like things hanging around. But of course I did add decor because I feel like it needed just like a little bit of something. So the first thing I did to minimize is get as much stuff off of the actual desk itself and have just the main pieces that you use while you're working, which is your keyboard and your mouse, were the main things, of course. I did get this like leather, it's faux leather like pad that I could have. It was bigger so it could fit both the keyboard and the mouse pad, so I didn't have to have a separate mouse pad. Anchors the space a little bit, if you know what I mean. I did used to have my computer dock and my laptop sitting on top of the desk, which was convenient, but it did actually drive me crazy because it was just like plopped on top and there wasn't really like a purpose or a reason for it to be there. So instead I ordered these mounts off Amazon, super cheap. I didn't even drill it into the desk. You probably could if you want to, but they come with these like 3M backings that you can just like attach onto this IKEA mom desk. So I can put my laptop, like slide it into the top and you can't see it again because of the waterfall ending. I was going to do it where I was going to drill a hole in the back of the desk and have the laptop actually in the drawer or in the cabinet. But the reason I didn't do that is because one, I feel like it could have overheated in there and I just like wasn't sure if that was going to be a good fit, just because laptops do get really, really hot. And two, I do like take it out of the desk like the dock situation often. I'll go work from my dining room downstairs. Sometimes I'll go to a coffee shop. So I am constantly like removing this laptop and walking around the house with it. So I wanted it to be more accessible because that just made sense for the way that I work. And then I did kind of, I say kind of, but I did kind of mount the dock. It isn't like a professionally, my cord management is not a professionally done situation. It is, let's get this all as stuffed into a space as best we can so that you can't see it from above. Ooh. He missed being in these videos. This is a total side tangent, but his allergies have been so bad recently, and we finally, I think, figured out, it's not like the most ideal solution, but we figured out a solution, and he's been feeling so much better. It makes my heart so much happier. All right, let's put you in your bed. So for cord management, the bare minimum, I did do cord covers on the walls, and which I did paint the same color as the wall. I would have put the cords through the wall, but because we do want to transfer this into a nursery someday, I didn't want to deal with having to cut through the drywall and then patch the drywall back up one day whenever we move this all out. So I just did cord covers. If you're gonna have your office space there more permanently, I would do like put the cords through the wall. It just looks so much better and so much more clean. All right, I don't know if there's much else to say. Oh, let's add all this up and see how much this all costs. I've not done this yet, so this may not even be like that cool of a number, but I feel like I did a good job not spending too much. So I wanna just total it out and see how we got here. IKEA desk, $260. Floating shelf, $50. All the books for decor was $35. This mini wooden bowl, $7. Desk mat, $14. Cord covers, $15. Monitor mounts were $16 each, so $32. The laptop mount underneath the desk was $24, and the dock mount that I used to mount my dock was $24, but I only used one within that pack of 3. So we'll just still keep it at $24. And I'm not gonna include the chair in this because it was an investment and is not necessary to get this whole setup, although I would highly recommend this chair because I feel like it just adds so much. So let's add all those up. This whole setup, including decor minus the chair, is $461. Now, for a desk setup that feels nice and feels inviting, I feel like that's a huge win because anything under $500, like for me, I don't know, maybe I could be thrifting a little bit more, but like I feel like that's a really good price range. So yeah, that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I do lots of videos on home decor, lots of vlogs. I'm starting to incorporate more fashion when I get around to it, but it's been fun. Yeah, not much else to say, but I hope you guys are having a good one, and I will talk to you guys on my next video.